Hi everyone, this is Neil Toff from Callzilla, offering some thoughts on today's ICMI Chat. That's hashtag ICMI Chat. This week's topic was rewards and incentives. I thought it was a lively, almost even spicy exchange of ideas. I thought it was great. Great banter back and forth. I wish I could be a fly on the wall of everybody's office or cube because words were flying. There were some sparks in there. I thought it was great, and it makes for a really interesting exchange. So rewards and incentives. Participants were Kevin Hagebarth, who did a great job as host. He found a way to use the OJ's YouTube video singing Backstabbers. Great incorporation of that video, and a great song and a great track. Erica Strother made a brief appearance along with Justin Robbins. I love Justin's commentary and ideas. He was definitely bucking the trend here when he did go against the grain as he said he would do. I thought it was great, added a great perspective. Open Span, Nate Brown, Leslie O, which was always a pleasure to have her on board. Higher IQ, Teresa Allen, Sean Hawkins, also with some great banter back and forth. I thought his contributions were great. I'm going to make some reference to one or two of those a little bit later in this video. Jeremy Watkin as well, TCN, and a almost cameo appearance at the end by John Thompson, and of course ourselves. Hashtag ICMI Chat. So, rewards and incentives. I think there is some disagreement maybe, different philosophies, different ideas, things that stood out for me. Justin Robbins said, mass rewards and recognition can be ineffective at driving engagement. They drive behaviors. I can drive behaviors, just not be engaged. Engagement is obviously an important thing. Do rewards cause engagement? Does engagement just happen automatically? How do we get engagement? How do we measure engagement? Which is one of the questions I keep asking. Can you be satisfied and be engaged? What happens with behavior? You can behave but not be engaged. Vast difference, but how do you get to engagement? It seems like both for Justin and for Sean, as well as for the rest of us, getting to the proverbial engagement has got to be the goal here. I thought that was a great comment. I like Jeremy Watkins' comment on recognition. Make deposits. I think this is Jeremy's, by the way. Make deposits in meaning the agents, make deposits in their emotional bank accounts. For Jeremy, recognition was obviously important. Most of us talk about incentives, which kind of implies monetary things, but the whole topic of recognition, which for me could be monetary, but it could also be non-monetary, and for me necessarily implies non-monetary. I think recognition is a huge thing, just saying thank you. And I do agree with Jeremy Watkin. Making deposits in the agent's emotional bank accounts, a pat on the back, a thank you note, even a handwritten thank you note, or some type of, whether it be symbol or verbal communication that says thank you did a great job. I like Teresa Allen's comment. Incentives can almost become part of their salary if they become expected. I found in our center, in a couple of different scenarios we've had, that incentives can actually be dangerous. I'm a big proponent of incentives and a big proponent of monetary incentives, but you got to be careful with them because if they become expected, you run into a very sticky situation. For example, we've had an issue on certain programs with simple, basic things like attendance. I'm of the current that sometimes you should even incentivize attendance, as crazy as that sounds, paying people to show up to work. But I have found that if you put a little bit of extra cash in people's pockets, they'll show up. And if that's really important to your success, especially handling a large volume of calls or chats or interactions where you can't afford to have an abandon rate or you can't afford to have poor service levels, well, maybe you got to dip into your pocket a little bit. The danger is what happens when those incentives do become expected. Would love to know people's feedback on that. The topic of return on investment, I think, was one of the early questions. I think this was great. I made an attempt at defining mathematically return on investment, at least as far as incentives go. What I thought was interesting was Sean Hawkins' take on this is that he seemed surprised, and Sean, if I misinterpreted this, forgive me or let me know, but you seemed surprised, Sean, that, I'm trying to find my notes here, that we would use customer-facing metrics to determine this. And I think absolutely it's a way of taking apples to apples. If I'm the CFO and I want to evaluate the return on investments of incentives or recognition or some type of program to get the agents engaged and involved and participating and hopefully satisfied, I want to know how that trickles down directly to the most relevant apples to apples comparison in my results. And I think those are customer facing metrics. For example, CSAT, Net Promoter Score, first call resolution, the type of metrics and activities that we in the call center are handling. I think that's the best way to handle it. Would love to know your feedback. You seem surprised, but I do think that at least in my opinion, that's the most successful. There was another comment about hurdle rate, which I think came from either Higher IQ. It might have come from Nate Brown. I'm not sure which one, about hurdle rate. So if you're the CFO, what's the hurdle rate? What type of ROI at a minimum do you need to achieve to be able to show that the incentive programs are effective? 2 times, 7 times? Truthfully, I don't know. I think it just varies by company, it varies by CFO. Sometimes maybe even break even is sufficient. If you can at least prove that there was no cost or no net cost, that you kind of broke even on that part, but maybe you are generating returns on other elements of the program, like keeping people in within your auto ship or auto or subscription model, that can be absolutely effective. They're not churning out by any means, therefore negatively affecting lifetime value. Those things I think are really important. I would love to know your feedback as well. The return on investment is a fascinating thing. Lots of ways to measure it. I would love to know, like I said, your feedback. I put up an image of the honey badger. I think that if you can't generate a return on investment or show a positive net impact on your customer-facing metrics or the KPIs that your call center is responsible for, you're going to get the honey badger out of your CFO, and he's going to come after you, going to bite your head off. Not a position you want to be in. Anyway, this is a great topic. I do think that the differing or diversity of opinion in this was fantastic. I love seeing people go against the grain. Hopefully my videos continue to be entertaining, a little bit useful, and engaging for everybody. I enjoy making them, and I would love to have your feedback. Hashtag ICMI Chat. Look forward to talking to everyone next week. Again, shout out to Kevin Hagebarth for doing a great job as host. And thank you once again, everyone. Hashtag ICMI. Hashtag ICMI Chat, that is. And just for clarification, if you want to reach me, if you don't already have me on there, that's at Neal Toff, Nealtopf. Would love to tweet, email, smoke signals, whatever. My email is ntopf@callzilla.net, CALLZILLA, ntoff@callzilla.net, or at Neal Toff. Thank you so much. Look forward to communicating with everyone, and please provide some feedback. Take care.